moment. Haven't done one of these in a long time, actually, on location. Victoria Park, just before 11 on this 5th day of October 2025. Just an absolutely beautiful morning. I'm going to bring in a beautiful human here in just a moment. Been meaning to get this particular individual beside me on camera for a while. We'll do a radio program this week, get it up tomorrow. That's got to be the hiatus for my program. Is too long, but just compartmentalizing a lot of things. Now it's time to start getting the stories back out there again. So before I bring in my guest, just a quick couple of stories, a couple of Canadian moments that I just shared with my guest that happened yesterday morning. And I've said this many times, sometimes it's just being in the right place at the right time. Came into the city yesterday morning, just before 10 o'clock. I'm walking down Hollis right next to Province House, the legislative building, and I hear music. I can hear band tuning up. Walk into the property, realize that it's Cadet Day yesterday, so there's a band there. The Lieutenant Governor, Mike Savage, is there, so there's a ceremony. I hang out for a few moments in the sunlight, and then I have the opportunity to listen to a live version of O Canada being played by the cadets. Just a wonderful moment. Then later on, maybe 2 hours later, walking down Spring Garden Road, another Canadian moment. Just walking, minding my own business, sunglasses on, and I see one of the most famous actors from this hour has 22 minutes. Mark Critch is walking down the street, so I just grab his attention. I'm like, Mr. Critch. He stops, looks at me, crosses the sidewalk, extends his hand and says, Mark. I don't even say my own name. All I say is, a friend of mine, Simon McInnes, knows you from Newfoundland. He recognizes the name. I just simply say, look, I appreciate your work. You make me laugh. You are one of Canada's finest. Be well. Okay, so that's my two quick Canadian stories. All right, let's bring in this fabulous Canadian right here. Bzzz. Andrew Goodsell.
Hey, guys.
Dusty is here as well. Let's get Dusty in here. First of all, it's been a long time since you and I have shared some camera space. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for being here.
Before we talk about, continuing the conversation about you being one of the residents at Lower Flynn Park, one of the 3 remaining designated encampments here in the Halifax Regional Municipality, what brings you here to Victoria Park today? Why are you and Dusty in this park specifically this morning?
So I got a little info card that said that the church right across from here, I forget the name of the church, but it's an Anglican church, I believe, is doing a blessing of pets today. So I thought that was really cool, and I'd bring Dusty to get blessed by the church and just enjoy the atmosphere. It is a gorgeous day, and we're hoping to see lots of pets and animals, and yeah, good vibes.
Drinking a coffee and making some origami?
Yeah, always folding, and it's just, again, perfect spot, good atmosphere, and yeah, hope for the best.
Okay, thank you. I've been meaning to get in contact with Andrew. Like anyone who follows me, anyone who knows me knows that a Saturday and Sunday, my day's off. I'm doing my walkabout through the peninsula, so I'm glad that I finally caught up with Andrew. So here we are, early part of October, beautiful fall day. What is it like for you? And again, this is an educational part of the program. I believe you'll be coming up on your 3rd winter outside. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's consider Andrew a veteran, an unfortunate veteran of living outside in the wintertime. In the encampment that you were at, we know that just within the last week and a half, the Cogswell Park encampment was closed. Have you seen an increase of occupants down at the Lower Flynn Park encampment, and what is life like down there?
Yeah, definitely an increase. The day they shut down that park, there was at least 3 tents put up. It's not bad. It's starting to get filled in though. Lots and lots more people getting into the park. And I guess I'm just hoping for the best. A lot of them don't seem to be very winter ready. It's just the tents that are up.
Well, let's talk about that. Like you're going on your 3rd winter. What for the newcomers that are out there, and there could be people watching this video right now who may be homeless in a few weeks. We don't know the circumstances. What is your advice? How do the newcomers being faced with being unhoused this winter here in Halifax, how do they best prepare to winterize their tent?
I would say if they can get a 4-season tent, really push for a 4-season tent. A lot of the workers and whatnot are actually handing out 3-season tents, probably because they're a lot cheaper and easier, more accessible. But if you can get a 4-season tent, definitely get a 4-season tent. I'm recommending emergency blankets between the tent and the fly of the tent. It really makes a difference night and day. Wool blankets and anything to get you up off the ground. So you do not want to be on the ground. It's going to freeze over. So if you can get some thick foam boards or anything to layer up so that you are up off the ground, it's key. Tea lights, hand warmers, any kind of heat sources. I'm starting to build them in, and just, again, anything that I can get. Layers, if you got some thermo tarps and that kind of stuff, I definitely recommend putting those over. And I really want to remind people to leave the tiniest gap for air between that thermo tarp and your tent, because if you put it right against the tent, what's going to happen is the condensation is going to start dripping through and your tent's actually going to get wet. So you need the tiniest little air barrier so that way condensation can escape. And yeah, you know, get your sweaters, get your layers going on, avoid cotton, go with synthetics, get the wool.
Get the wool.
Get the wool. If you can get wool, it's key. Merino wool's extra special if you can get it, but like, again, get the layers going on, avoid cotton, avoid anything that's going to hold in moisture. Get your wicking layers going, something similar to what you're wearing right now.
Like something breathable?
That's right, right? Something that will, the sweat, if you're going to sweat, it's going to wick off of the under layer and then kind of breathe out, because here on the East Coast, you know, we can have only -10, which isn't super cold, but if you're damp, that is deadly. So, you know, like anything that you can do along those lines is key.
What's a day in a life of Andrew like for you? And let's just talk about getting something to eat. What's it like?
So it's pretty resource intensive as far as the walking goes. I do a ton of walking. Me and Dusty have to average 100+ clicks a week.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's at least 100+ clicks a week. We go from basically one end of the downtown core to the other end, and then wherever we can go. So St. Mary's Cathedral, St. Andrews on Sundays, St. George's on Saturdays. So, you know, like wherever we can go just to get the food so that I can eat, because realistically I'm on quite the budget, and just try to make it happen.
Okay, speaking of a budget, for those that don't know, how much assistance do you get a month? How much does the government expect you to get by on?
So all of you awesome taxpayers that are paying way too much in taxes, allocate me about $420 a month. So I live off of roughly $420 a month plus whatever I can scrounge doing my origami.
Okay. One final thing, because I think we'll have a deeper discussion in the radio program. You have a list of talking points that we can always add to. The only reason I just want to close it now is because I have a pair of shorts on and the camera's shaking because I'm standing still. But one final thing, where are you right now in talks with any organization, any navigators on getting you out of there? Again, as I let people know, going into a third winter.
Yeah, so nothing. Zero. As far as a dignified living situation, which I consider to be a studio, a bachelor, any kind of small space, whether it's one of those tiny homes, a small space that I'm not sharing with other people. And it's just so important, because I've had a history of trying to share spaces with people and it doesn't work out well for me. I find that they're either dirty and I'm cleaning up after them, or just all kinds of things, right? And to me, a dignified situation is just a tiny space that I can call my own. It doesn't have to be elaborate, doesn't have to have anything special, but there's nothing available for that for me. At best, I think they want me in these encampments because there's nowhere else. You know, I don't want to be shoved into these shelters. I don't know very many that are even dog friendly, and the one or two that are dog friendly, I haven't been given the options for. So it just is what it is, right? I'm sitting hoping for the best, and again, I've signed up 4 times for housing. I've talked to all these organizations. I don't know what else to do at this point except for survive. Between me, you, and the people there, Matthew, I've given up hope on these workers. I've given up hope on these workers because, again, we're 3 years, but we're not 3 years or 3 winters. We are 10
Decades.
years. Yeah, right? We're 10 plus years
Yeah.
of me fighting for a good situation. And that was when I was working 2 jobs, and then when I was working for the school board, and then when I was in the shelter system while working for the school board. And you know, here I am, right? So it's like I showed, you know, my pay stubs, what I was making, working 30 to 40 hours every week, not being able to afford what is available out there. And now I've come to terms that I just got to try to live my best life, and that these organizations aren't going to get me a place. So, you know.
And that being said, I think one of the main issues is that no one is setting aside space to build. Like, we're just simply not building.
Well, and the rumors of what we
building.
are building are just that. They're rumors. So, like, I know that we finally talking about getting those developments in Shannon Park.
Shannon Park.
It sounds so shifty. Like, apparently some of it's going to be affordable and some of it's going to be non-market. But let's be honest, if we're not building non-market housing, we're not building the right kind of housing, because the only housing that we need right now is non-market housing. I can look on Kijiji or anywhere right now and find 100 condos for, you know, $2,000-$3,000 a month. But can I find any non-market housing for, you know, $800 to $1,000? Not even close. Not even close. And I feel like that's a lot of money that a lot of these organizations that would have a place, next thing you know, they want me to sign up for a subsidy and to pay like $1,000 for shared conditions and that kind of stuff, right? So it's not what I'm about, and I don't think it's right. And I honestly feel like we are not pushing for good solutions, that we're just contributing more and more to the problems. Here, let's build more shelters. Let's give all this money for, you know, all these organizations, but let's not build non-market housing. Like, I don't know. We did it back in the 70s. It did amazing. There was no one out on the streets when I first got here. 2 or 3 people that chose it. Now there's hundreds across Canada. It's crazy.
How many, let's leave it with this, because you're out on the street and you'll probably give a much more truthful answer. How many people do you suspect, not just here in the HRM, maybe some numbers that you've heard province-wide, like how many people do you think are unhoused?
So I've heard rumors that there is roughly 8,000 people in Nova Scotia that are on the by name list now. 8,000, 1,200 plus just here in the HRM. So I don't know how truthful that is, but I believe it. I honestly believe it. And if that's the numbers that they're giving, I believe that there's probably more than that. So.
Well, I'm gonna. For me, I think one of the contributing factors to people being on the street, it's been in recent surveys, 40% of the people out on the street just can't simply keep up with the cost of living. We've been in our apartment for 4 years. Our rent's gone up $248. So no one, I can guarantee you, no one wants to be on the street. Hang on here. Yeah. I've been in this province 4 years, and I've seen a dramatic increase of people on the street. So you can be patting yourself on the back that we've gone from 8 encampments to 3 encampments, but that doesn't mean people are going to live and tent wherever they feel safest. And I can tell you, and Andrew can tell you, that encampments and shelters are the least safest places you can be. Inside 4 walls, a door that you can lock behind you. Get some dignity back, get some privacy back, have your own security, the basics of life. That's all Andrew was asking for. I mean,
that's what
this guy ran
deserves.
for mayor, for Pete's sake. Come on. Okay, thank you, Andy.
Oh, thank you, Matthew.
We are going to, sometime this week, I'm going to have a phone conversation with Andrew, and a little lengthier, and we'll get that up on my radio program, Truth from the Booth. Been on a bit of a hiatus, but I want to get back into that again. Just another avenue, just another way to share the stories of the unhoused here in Halifax, and from wherever people are experiencing the situation that they're in. Coming up on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I hope you make the best of it. It's a gorgeous day here at Victoria Park with Andrew and Dusty. My name is Matthew, and you are currently caught up in the moment.